In our case, it's not just a hobby, it's not just another thing we do, it's something like really part of our lives.
It's first of all a big joy. It's happiness. It's like a trance of good feelings.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Captured in the Spotlight. I'm Adriana Gentile, and on today's episode we learn more about Diego and Arturo, two individuals who formed the band Voonic 2.
Hello, my name is Diego, aka Atari Man.
I'm Arturo, or RPG.
And together we are Voonic 2. When I started kind of having the idea of the project and having the idea of creating a band based on like video games music, basically like with using kind of old retro video game sounds, I had this dream of already having the band and going to perform, and the name of the band was Voonic 2 right away. So I was like, it sounds interesting because it sounds like a video game, you know. And the name fit us very well because all our songs are trying to kind of describe or are based in an imaginary video game that we call Voonic 2, and it's like the second edition of this game because it's like the second try of getting the band together, and this time we are two in the band, Arturo, myself. So that's basically what the name involves in general. I've been always involved in music. Like I started playing guitar early when I was at school. I would say like when I was like 10 years old or something like that. And I learned to play guitar by myself. Like I taught myself, and since then I realized, wow, playing music and composing and singing was like very, very, very amazing.
For as long as I can remember, it was by 4 years old. It was a big a record of ABBA. And I don't know, I think I worn out that record at my parents' house. And a few years after, it didn't take very long, my two brothers, who are older than me, they introduced me unknowingly to rock music and MTV. And with that, I discovered the videos, and I was like, wow, this is like a new door open to me totally. I would say that the Smiths are like a big influence in my music. Lots of the 80s music as well. Like it's inevitable. My brothers were torturing me with all those heavy metal bands all day long. So I guess it had some influence in my music. I also like a lot of dream pop shoegaze bands from the British Islands. And obviously, when I was a teenager, the 90s grunge scene and alternative rock of the 90s.
I have like several different influences because like Arturo, I was in the big boom of the 80s hard rock and heavy metal bands. So I was like really, really into that, like Guns N' Roses, Poison, Tesla, Aerosmith, like this kind of, you know, rock heavy bands. And from there, I started like kind of investigating more and more about different genres. And later on, during the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, I started like listening a lot of electronic music. Given the fact of 2020 forcing us to be under a lockdown, our plans changed a little bit, and we started composing again. We started doing other pieces of work, and we end up deciding to record our first EP. So short term, we are basically planning on launching the EP soon. The song we're gonna play live is called Zombie Attack. It's one of the first songs we composed for the band. And as I said before, pretty much all of our songs kind of tells part of a story in a imaginary universe that we created around this character that is called Voonic, which is the main character of our story. And in this particular song is one of the first chapters of the story where he kind of has to fight his way out of this planet that is post-apocalyptic.